class. Today we went over a few ways of solving systems of equations. And so if you were absent today or if you wanted just some extra help, I wanted to record some videos for you. So the first way that we solve for a system, first of all, we talked about systems being two or more equations, and then different ways that we could get different solutions. So if there's an intersection of two lines, that is at one point, that point is a solution for both of those equations. And so for the system, it's just one answer. If you had parallel lines, though, for example, they would never intersect, and so parallel lines would have no solution. And then the other example is if we started to rewrite two different linear equations and we found out we got the same equation, well, if it's the same line, then they're on top of each other and they would have infinite solutions because they're the same line. So we talked about graphing first. So I'm going to do number 2 off the class kick. So if you want to follow along, the class kick for today has a bunch of notes and problems. So we're going to start with number 2. So number 2 is solving by graphing. And so the two problems that are given are y equals 5. And then the other equation is y equals 2x plus 7. And so we're supposed to graph these and see where they meet. Now, these ones are a little bit easier to graph by hand, but if things start getting complicated, you could always graph them on the calculator as well. So I'm going to actually show you both ways. So if I have a graph, right, and I'm going to have y equals 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have some other points, okay? And so the very first equation is y equals 5. So when y is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, y is 5, it's anywhere here, 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 here. Y is 5, all those places. So y equals 5 gives us this horizontal line. Okay? So that's how we graph just y equals 5. The next one is in slope-intercept form. So the easiest way is we know that the b, because it's y equals mx plus b, the b is your y-intercept. And so I can actually go, okay, well, my b here is a positive 7. So when y is 7, x is 0, because that's my intercept. And then I can use the slope. And so here my slope is 2. So I can go up 2 and to the right 1, and then keep putting points there. Because I'm out of room, I also can go -2, -1, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I can actually go down 2 and to the left 1, and that also is a point. And then I can go down 2 more if I want, and then to the left 1 more, and that's another point. And so then I get this blue line here. Okay, and some of you might have seen where that intersection was already. And so that intersection was right here. And so we know y equaled 5 at that point. And so when we try to make sure our x is precise, but when I counted, I knew that I had went over just 1 there. So my x was a -1. So we went -1, 5. And if you needed to double check that, you knew for a fact the y value was 5. So I could plug 5 in here and solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. And so I get -2 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And in fact, x was -1. Okay? So that's one way that we can look at it. Another way that we can do it is to actually just graph it on a graphing calculator, okay? And so the one that we've been using on Google Classroom is this GeoGebra. And so I am going to graph y equals 5. In order to do this on the graphing calculator, it does have to be in a y equals, so a slope-intercept form, okay? And then the other one that I did was y equals 2x plus 7. Okay? And so you can actually see the same graph that I just did right here. So we get these points. And then where does it intersect? Well, what's nice about this calculator is I can click the intersection and it actually tells me the answer. And so I can see that it intersected at -1, 5. And so we were correct there. Okay? So let's try another one on Classkick, right? So if we're on Classkick right now, we just did number 2. Okay, I would like to try number 5 next. So if you want to write down number 5 real quick, that's the one we're going to do next. Okay? And so we have 2y equals 8x plus 18. And then my other equation is 24 plus 4y equals x. Okay? And so if we want to just use the graphing calculator, it does have to be in slope-intercept form. So remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And so we want the y to be isolated here. So it's almost isolated. Right now it's just attached by a 2. And so if I just divide this problem, everything by 2, I will get y equals 4x plus 9. And so that's my first equation. Now my second equation is not set up yet either, and so we need to get that one as well. So let's do that one in blue. So x is on here, but I do need to subtract 24 from both sides. And so I get 4y equals x minus 24. And then divide everything by 4. And so I get y equals, and then instead of just x over 4, we sometimes like to just write it as 1/4 x, right? That shows me the slope a little bit better. And then minus 6. Okay? And so now I have my 2 equations in slope-intercept form, and then I can just put those in the calculator and see where they meet. So if we go to the calculator, and we delete our other problem, now I can type in what we had. So we have y equals 4x plus 9. Okay, that's going to be this red line here. And then my second equation was y equals, and this calculator likes parentheses for my fractions, so 1/4 x, and then we had minus 6. And so you'll see my orange graph is that one. And so we can already see where it's intersecting. It's intersecting right here. So if I just click the intersection, you will see that the intersection is -4, -7. That's the answer. The answer is where it intersects. Okay? So again, if we want to solve by graphing, just make sure that you put it into y equals mx plus b format. And then from there, you can just graph it on the calculator. And so you would get -4, -7. Okay? I'm going to do another video for the other ways. Thank you.